Hey, hey, hey.
Hey guys, hey, so this is Jason Morris, and I'm here with Amy Izzo, right? Did I say that right?
You said it right, Amy Izzo.
And Amy, so what can you tell us like a little bit about what market you're in and a little bit about your business?
Yeah, I am a solo agent and a team leader, do both. I'm still in production in the Illinois, so Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana markets. Actually have people all the way down to Indianapolis. So
That's very cool,
we
man.
have a
It's very cool.
cool
So
team. Yeah.
so how is the market there? Like I know like Florida and South Carolina and stuff, our market's been crazy the last
Yeah,
few years. How about you guys? You guys been the same way?
crazy. So it's crazy. It's been busy, low inventory, lots of buyers. We're already starting to see some of the spring activity, and we're barely to February here. So we're already starting to see
Really?
spring activity happening and multiple offers are starting. And so it's going to be a great year.
Man, that's awesome. So interest rates really hadn't changed things for you guys.
I think that people are more cautious and we're seeing more days on market on our listings for sure. Buyers are taking their time a little bit. But even with that little fluctuation in interest rates we had to six recently, or the low sixes, I know they've kind of been bumping around there. We saw a lot of people come out and start to grab up some of these homes. And so we're starting to see multiple offers again, which is good. It's not it certainly is not a 2020, 2021 market where things were gone in two
Right.
hours, but yeah, it's interesting because some things will be on the market for 3 or 4 weeks and all of a sudden there's two or three offers. So it's like,
Yeah,
whoa,
I
where were
feel
you
like that's the
people?
same way
Where were
here.
you people? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's the same way here. Like you'll see a house and you go, man, it's a nice house, price reasonable, it looks good in pictures, right? Like
Yeah.
it should be under contract, and then all of a sudden, like you said, it goes to multiple offers, and it's like it didn't get nothing for a month, you know? It's kind of funny, but so when we were talking about setting this up, you have something really great you're doing for like the new agents and agents struggling working on your team, and you're
Yeah.
training them to get the two transactions a month.
Yeah, so the goal as we add agents to the team is that we get them building to two transactions a month, and we want their first two to close in their first 90 days. I tell them they'll definitely close one in the first 90 days if they follow the process. But if we can get them to close two, and then we want to build that pipeline to close two a month going forward.
Dude, that's awesome. And
Yeah.
so how are you guys building their business, or what are you doing to teach them how to build their business and get
So
that sort of consistency?
So what I find when I talk to agents across the country, what I find is that usually we're getting our business one or two ways, and that's about it. And the first thing I'll say to an agent who tells me I don't have any business is open your calendar and show me your calendar because I need to know how many calls you're making a day and how you're getting out and you're finding people. So if you're not buying leads and you're not making calls that way, you don't have lists, where are you going to meet the people that you need to talk to every day? Because the reality is we need to talk to people every day in real estate. Nobody's going to come into our house, our office, our coffee shop and offer us a listing or a purchase, right? So we got to get out and find people. What's nice is we have a
So you
database.
guys are building this,
What? I didn't
so
hear
you
you.
guys are building or are teaching them to build their business. So you guys are teaching them to build their business around prospecting.
We are teaching them about, so I talk about building a table. So a table, a good strong table is four legs. I'm teaching agents to build four legs in their business. So the first leg should be some sort of prospecting, right? So if we have some dollars to spend or we get on a team who has some leads for us, it should be leads, whether those are PPC leads or those are expireds or FISBOs, whatever, right? Whatever. We've got to pick something though where we can lead generate to hand raisers, people that we know want to know the value of the house for some reason, or people that we know are interested in a mortgage for some reason, or are just shopping pretty houses for some reason, right? We need a way to get those. So yes, prospecting is the number one thing that we're teaching, but I'm saying that's not enough. You've got to have three additional legs in your business. I want you to build a strong table in the first 90 days.
Of course.
So there are four ways that business come in.
Okay. How would you say there's four ways? What would you suggest?
So
Prospecting.
first is prospecting. So however we're going to get there. The second one I think has to be your SOI, your sphere of influence. Your sphere of influence is always going to be, in my opinion, one of your strongest legs of your business, but it's not enough because your SOI is not always going to have business for you. And I'll say this for agents that are hearing from other agents, I'm a 98% referral agent. I'm a 100% referral agent. I commend everyone that feels that way and has that track record. But I'll tell you, there are times they don't have any business. They got big months and 0 months. We don't want 0 months, right? What we want you to build is a predictable income every single month. That's what we want you to be able to build so you can have low stress around your finances while you're running your business. So SOI is important, but it's not enough. So we really want to document that and understand how to interact with them in a value
You
added
find
way,
a lot
right?
of you find a lot of agents with the sphere of influence just don't
They
let
don't.
their people know they sell real estate.
They
Dude, I'm
don't.
guilty
They're
of that.
secret agents.
I'll tell you a quick story. I had a cousin and her husband. They lived up in New York, right? Made great money compared to South Carolina standards. Lived in New York, like close to New York City, right? So they talked about buying a beach house here. Dude, I really didn't take it serious. I was a new agent, man. I didn't have any experience with $500,000 homes. I mean, this is 20 years ago, right?
Mhm.
And you know what, man? Just for some reason, I just never talked about selling real estate, like with family gatherings and things like that. Dude, they didn't know that I worked in the area. I actually lived in the area they bought in. They bought a $500,000 home, and I'll tell you what's even worse. I mean, this is what's even worse, and this is confession time, right? So about 5 years later, they were getting divorced, and as part of the divorce, they were selling the house. And guess what I did? I didn't tell anybody I really sold real estate back then, hardly, when I'd be at these family gatherings still. And I'd probably learned my lesson because I'd lost $15,000 on the transaction, the initial purchase 5 years before. I mean, this is my cousin, like we see, like the family we do have
Sure.
things to do with, right? Dude, in the middle of the divorce, they sold the house and again didn't use me because they didn't know I was still selling real estate.
I forgot.
So right there is one family member. I mean, that dude, I lost $30,000 by not letting people
Sure.
know that hey, I still sell real estate. And honestly, it would have been easy. You're at the family gatherings, you're seeing them anyway. You're going to go grandma's house for Thanksgiving or whatever it is. And dude, I just didn't tell them. And I
Yeah,
can't imagine how many more. I mean, that's the one I know that hurts my feelings when I think about it, right?
sure.
And that was a long time ago. But but God, there's probably, I mean, if that's 30,000, there's probably 3 million out there that I've let slip by like that.
Right. They're probably, and I think we all have, we've all been there and learned that lesson. And, to your point, you've got to tell them, but then you have to remind them, right? And I think
Yes.
sometimes what I hear from agents is, well, I don't want to be salesy. I don't want to bother my family and friends. It's just about how we engage and how we make sure that they understand we're in the business, because they're going to forget. They're busy people. Think about your life. We are busy people. We have a lot going on, regardless of what our job is. We just happen to be in real estate. There's a million things happening and people just they do forget. So checking
Oh,
in, with checking in with your sphere of influence and having those processes where you're regularly talking to them, not necessarily about real estate, but guess what? Real estate will come up and it will remind them.
yeah. Yep. I agree with you. It will, dude, it always comes up. There's always somebody, they either know somebody looking to buy, sell, or somebody trying to rent something.
Yeah,
And everybody does. And you know what, man, a lot of markets, you can get paid for helping them rent something too.
yeah,
And,
for sure.
but so we've got prospecting, we've got sphere of influence. So there's two more legs for what you
Social
said?
media. I think the third one has to be your social media. I think that is a free tool that we avoid way more than we need to. We need to use our social media. I love when I meet an agent who doesn't have the business they want and I look them up on social media because the majority of the time we don't even have that we're a realtor on there or what we do.
Yeah. Yes,
Put
I'm
it
well
there.
aware of that too. Do you find too that a lot of the agents that claim, "Oh, I do a lot of social media," they're really just spamming their friends and family. They really
Yeah,
don't understand how to effectively
sure.
drive engagement.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. So
that a lot.
absolutely. So utilizing your social media, and I will say this, sometimes I hear, well, it's overwhelming, or we're trying to do too many platforms at once. I just where are your people? Figure out where your people are. If most of your people are Facebook, then go deep on Facebook. If most of your people are on Instagram, then go deep on Instagram. If it's TikTok, but pick one and go deep. And when you really get great at that, and that's a rhythm, layer in the others. You don't
Oh
have to
yeah.
go too wide to start, but you have to be daily consistent. with social media, and it will build with time. You have to give it time. And it doesn't even need that
Yep.
much time. A couple of months or even a few weeks, sometimes you'll see some traction right away. But certainly getting a video out a day, and if you're doing nothing, getting 2 or 3 out a week consistently over a few weeks time, you will start to see some activity that you hadn't seen before, around real estate, for sure, around questions in the industry, and people will recognize that you're an expert. That's the
Oh
other thing.
yeah.
And especially if you can use video. I mean, the nice thing about video with social media is it's out there forever. So it's out there
Yes.
forever. So it's evergreen. So people can listen to you on their time, and then they can listen to you multiple times, and you only have to do it once. And
Oh
I
yeah.
still have people that call me on videos I did last year. And I'm like, oh, I forgot about that video. I should probably
You know
refresh
what?
that.
I really, and I'm definitely, I'm telling all my secrets. I'm definitely guilty of this too. Like, man, I see some of these people, the way they repurpose content and repurpose video. You know what I mean? Is so brilliant. Where they have a longer video and then they're doing shorts and they're doing reels and they're doing all this stuff. And I go, man, I think my biggest problem is time. You know,
Sure, for sure.
so we got three of them. We've got prospecting, sphere of influence, and social media. What would be the fourth one?
The fourth one, I would say you get to pick, right? Everything works.
Oh,
It has to work for you. So it needs to be something you're passionate about. I love for an agent to pick a niche. Are you passionate about nurses? Let's go after nurses, right? There's a way to do that. Are you passionate about teachers? Let's go after teachers. Are you passionate
yeah.
about veterans? Have you always been curious and wanted to learn how to work with FISBOs, right? Hey, I was one of those. Don't laugh at me, Jason, because I was one of those.
Oh,
I'm
dude.
like, I want to learn FISBOs, and I got pretty good at that, right? That was a leg in my business for a long time when I was new. Not that it's not now, it is, but
I would say, yeah.
just one I
Man,
focused on, right?
sell by
So
owners. When I first started selling real estate nowadays, I'm a lot of rentals, and I don't actively produce personally as much as what I did in the past. But I tell you what, man, for sell by owners and for rent by owners is always my go-to.
yeah,
You know
for
what?
sure
They want to talk to you. They want you to bring a buyer to their house.
they
So they're
do.
going to answer your call most of the time.
Mhm.
And you know what? I always look at it this way. If I can't get them on the phone, dude, a buyer probably can't get that person on the phone either. So
That's
I just
right.
need to try different times, you know? Maybe I've been calling in the day and they're at work. Maybe I need to try in the afternoon, maybe Sunday afternoon. Maybe I need to send a text versus a phone call.
Sure.
And you know what? A lot of agents don't realize this either. That, man, you wouldn't believe how many for sale owners you can text and say, hey, I'm interested in more information about your house for sale. When's a good time to call you? And they will text you back and give you a good time to call them.
They will. And if they're not responding, send them a video text. Hey,
Yeah.
Jason, this is Amy, and I have a buyer that may be a perfect fit for your purchase of your home, and I just wanted to chat with you about it. Give me a call.
Yep.
They see that,
Yeah.
they're calling you, they're responding, or they're texting you back.
I saw that so much with the agents. You know,
Mhm.
what one other thing I'll tell you I've saw, man, is I've saw these agents and they're doing multiple things like what you talked about. But the thing is they don't really have the same message
Mhm.
going across everything, right?
Mhm.
Maybe they're taking and they're on one thing they've got something about being a short sale and foreclosure expert, and we don't even really have those even right now. Or one
Yeah,
thing they'll have something about being a divorce expert, and then the next piece of marketing material or message they're sending is being a luxury real estate agent. You know, and it's like, hey man, what do you guys do?
what are
They want to pick all the niches,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, and just pick one, like pick a niche and really work that niche in addition to these other things. So if we're prospecting, we're using our social media, we're working our sphere of influence, and we're working on a niche. That's enough, right? That's enough to get you
Yeah,
started to really build your business. And when you get to a place where this feels, it's effort. So when I say this, don't get me wrong, it's effort, but it's a process. It feels like a habit, like brushing my teeth. I get up every day, I brush my teeth. I don't really think much about that. I just know that has to happen, right? Same thing when you're okay, every day I'm prospecting, I'm doing something in my SOI, I'm doing something on social media, doing a little something in my niche, and that feels routine at a fifth because there's going to be a time when one of these is weak. One of these four is just weak. It's just
of
not,
course.
there's not as much coming in, right? Then you add your
Yeah.
fifth. And again, what's your fifth? It's another niche, right? Or it's another You know, when I say
True.
niche, I'm thinking about a piece of the market, but it could just be, oh, okay, I've never worked expires. I got really good at FISBOs. I want to work expires now, right? I'm brave now. I want to do
Yep.
that. So just pick
You know
something
what?
that you want to learn.
In my market, at least I've always been really good. I've been a real estate agent almost 20 years, and
Mm.
I've really been good at doing all the crap that other agents don't want to do. You know, like mobile homes. Man, for a long time here, man, nobody wanted to deal with mobile homes, but they were expensive, they were quick and easy sales, and I was doing 3 or 4 a month, and they were just easy deals. I mean, they weren't big transactions, but you can ask for a little more commission. You can ask for a minimum commission. I was probably making 10, 12 grand a month doing mobile home transactions that I had no competition on.
Yeah.
Like another thing I did for a while, this was when the market was kind of slow back in 2010, 2012. I had a builder that had some money and we had a little line of credit and we were going out here to people that own home lots. Home lots were stupid cheap and we
Mhm.
were putting together lot home packages, right? And we'd market and try to pre-sell the lot home package.
Yeah.
And nobody was doing that with lot owners. So when you pitched them, you ended up, at the time it might be a $10,000 listing, $15,000 listing, but with a home plan on it, it was a $200,000 listing. You
Mhm.
know, we
Yep.
done a lot of that. And there was very, very little competition for it. It was harder to find a builder than it was to find lots to work with.
Yeah.
Um, that was to find a builder that actually had it together, where they had some floor plans, they had a general idea about costs that were kind of easy to move around. But Amy, I really appreciate you doing this with me today. If an agent wants to get in touch with you, and they're interested in being a part of your team, or just talking with you more, how would they do that?
Yeah, so you can always find me on Facebook, Amy Izzo, Amiizzo. So that's where you can find me, message me there. On Instagram, I'm Amy Izzo Sells Homes, but I'll just give you a phone number. So you just text me,
Sure.
708 359 6510. Just text me. I'm always happy to answer questions for agents. And certainly we're always expanding our team, and that's nationally. So let us know what we can do to help.
That's awesome. Man, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Amy. It's been
Jason,
great.
that was fun. Thanks.
Hang on just a second.